Okay, let's take a look at these two questions. The first question says 9 times the difference of 7 and a number is negative 90. The other one says the difference between 9 times a number and 7 is negative 90. Well, they almost sound like the same, but before we actually do those, I'm going to put some numbers in those questions to make it a little easier. Okay, so let's take a look. 9 times the difference of 7 and 4. Okay, I'm going to look at this one first, and we're going to put this in symbols. 9 times the difference of 7 and 4. So there's a lot of keywords going on here. Okay, we have times, which obviously means multiplied, and difference, which we know means subtraction. And here's the and, so that tells me that's where the subtraction symbol goes. Okay, so 9 times the difference. So let's think about what that means. 9 times the difference. That means first we have to have the difference, and then we have to take 9 times that. Now I'm going to show you a little trick. Whenever you have an operational word followed by another operational word, that tells me to use parentheses. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to go 9 times the difference, and in here we'll go the difference, okay, of 7 and 4. So that's the way that will look in symbols, okay? 9 times the difference. There's no number between these two words. It's an operation followed by an operation. It tells me I need a parentheses. Because again, order of operation tells me to do difference first, and that's what I have to do here, because I have to do 9 times the difference. So I have to have the difference first so I can do 9 times it. So let's take a look at this. This would be 7 minus 4, or 3. Again, I won't take off the parentheses until I do a multiplication step. And now 9 times 3 is 27. So the answer is 27. So that's a really good key there, that as soon as I see an operation followed by another operation, I'm going to definitely use parentheses. All right, let's look at that second question. Okay. The second question is the difference between 9 times 3 and 7. I really kind of want to get that on one line. Okay, let's take a look at this. Difference again means subtraction. Now I have to find the word and, so I know where to put the minus sign. So I'm going to go find the word and. Here it is, all the way over here. Okay, so now here's the scoop on this one. Is I had the word and. Anything before the word and is going to come before the subtraction sign. Anything after is going to come after the subtraction sign. So 9 times 3, that's going to go first. 9 times 3 and 7. So that's the way that's going to look. All right, so now we have 9 times 3, order of operations, multiplication first. 9 times 3 is 27, minus 7. Kind of looks hard, but if you understand those little keys, it makes it easy. There's no, see, we have difference here and we have times here, but we have a number between those words. So it's not an operation followed by an operation, kind of like that sine thing, okay? So 9 times 3 is 27, minus 7, which is 20. Okay, so all we did here was go from the words straight into the symbols, and all you have to do is go word for word, realizing that the only word you have to be careful of is from or the phrase less than, because remember that switches the order, so don't get confused there. And now we know that if we have an operation followed by an operation, all we have to do is use a parentheses. So I hope that helps you out. Let's go back to the original challenge question. Okay. Here we go. All right. 9 times the difference of 7 and the number is negative 90. And we're asking you to use x as the number. I'm going to give you a second just to put that into symbols, and then we'll look at it together. Okay, 9 times, here's difference, here's your and here's your number, and here's your is. There's so many things going on here. So the is the equals, remember? We said we were going to deal with that first the other day, okay? And now let's go to the left side of the is. 9 times the difference. So again, we have an operation followed directly by an operation. That tells me I need a parentheses. So 9 times the difference. The difference is going to go in there. Let's see what we're taking the difference of. Here comes the and. So this side of the and this side of the and. So we're taking a difference of 7 and a number. So 7 and a number. The difference of 7 and a number. Remember, you don't change the order for difference. Only the word from or the word less than. And that is negative 90. Okay? And nobody asked us to solve it, so we do not have to solve that. So that's that first one. I'm hoping again that this helps. Operation followed by an operation. Use parentheses. Okay, let's look at number 2. All right, number 2. The difference between 9 times a number and 7 is negative 90. Again, we're putting this only in symbols. We don't have to solve it. So I'm going to let you do this for half a second, and then we'll come back and look at it. Okay, we have the word difference. Now we're going to find the word and. Oh, here it is. There's my minus sign. Okay, difference between 9 times a number, that's on one side of the word and 7, that's on the other side of the word and. Here's our is again, so that's our equals. So the difference between 9 times a number, that would be 9 times a number. Remember, we don't need a parentheses or a dot, because as long as there's no symbol in between, it means multiplication. And 7 is negative 90. And that's it. And that's that in symbols. So again, there's no operation followed directly by an operation, because this operation is followed by a number. Okay? All right. Now we're going to put a couple more in symbols. You don't have to solve them. Just let's practice with the symbols. And if you get it wrong, that's okay. No problem. They're in your workbook. All right, let's see how you did with those 5. Well, 4 problems. I can't even count, but it's okay. It's early. All right, let's take a look at some keywords. Well, negative 21 is not exactly a keyword, but we know what that is. Increase by the way, you might want to use your workbook in that little chart we did previously with all the keywords. That might help you out. Now, remember, twice is a keyword. It means 2 times. Okay? Yields, remember, is also a keyword. Yields was a keyword for equals. So, or is equal to. Oh, I forgot the is. Wait, is this coming back? I forgot the is. I forgot the is. I needed the is. Sorry. I should get blasted for that. Okay, negative 21. Increased by, that's plus. Twice a number, that's 2 times a number, yields 35. So again, word for word, unless I have the less than or the from. Okay? And again, we don't have to solve that, so we're done. All right, let's take a look at this one. 6, here we go. Less than is a big keyword. Less than a number is the same as. This is the same as is all the same thing here. That's just part of the is, really. Is the same as. 36 less the number. Oh, this is an awesome problem. There's so much stuff going on. I love that. Okay. 6 less than a number. Whatever comes after the word less than has to go first. So here's the is. I'm going to put that down. And less than a number. So whatever comes right after less than is the number. So that goes right here. And we have 6 less than a number. That's 6 less than a number. Is the same as 36 less the number. Remember, less means subtraction, no change in order. It's not less than or from. 36 less the number. Okay? So there we go. That was a great problem. That was a hard problem. That was a good problem. The harder the better, right? All right, let's do number 3. That is keeps creeping up on me, doesn't it? A number subtracted from, I'm going to use a little shorthand, from 19 equals the quotient. Oh, there's so many cool words going on. My daughter thinks anybody who loves math was really part of its birth defect. I don't believe that, but okay. Anyway, here we go. It's cool to like math. You just don't know that yet. It's very cool. Okay, a number subtracted from. Well, all of this is a keyword subtracted from, but from, we should have a bell go off, because from is the keyword that tells me to change the order. From 19 equals quotient, oh, I love it, of 40 and 8, okay? And is not a keyword, but and helps us tell us where to put the operational symbol. So let's get the equals in there and see what's going on. Okay, a number subtracted from 19 equals. So a number subtracted from, whatever comes after the word from goes first. So 19 goes first. A number subtracted from 19 looks like that. That's perfect. Equals the quotient. Remember, quotient means division. And here's the and that tells us where the division sign goes. The quotient of 40 and 8. Okay, and again, I'm going to use that. If you use that little old-fashioned division thing going on, that's really for arithmetic, I'd have to mark that right. It just gives me a rash. I really don't like it. Okay, because in algebra, that symbol's better. Okay, hope you did okay. Tons of keywords. Get used to them. Kind of memorize them. I don't like to say memorize. I rather say learn, but you really have to memorize those keywords. All right, let's take a look at the next thing. Okay, this is a big one, isn't it? Let's see what we got here. We have product. Is times sum. Oh, this is just so much fun. Okay, here we go. Let's find the is. Here's the is again. Let's do everything before the is. So we're going to write the equal down for the is, and here we go. The product of a number and -9. Remember, product means to multiply. We're going to look for the and. Here's the and. That's where the multiply goes. You're multiplying a number and -9. Remember, generally, we want to make sure that the coefficient is in the front. So -9x. You do not need a parentheses there. If you put a parentheses, I have to mark it right. I just don't like it. That's overuse of parentheses, but I have to mark it right. Okay. 9 times the sun. Oh, look, look, look. An operation followed by an operation. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, we need a parentheses there. Okay, so it's 9 times the sum, because that's 9 times the entire sum is going to be there. Okay, now sum is a keyword that means addition. The and tells me where the plus goes. Of that number, so that same number, and 34. Okay, so that number and 34, and that's how that looks. That's a beauty. If you could do that, you pretty much could do anything. That's a beauty. All right, so that's number 4. Okay, let's take a look at this next thing. All right, let's take a look at this. Let me do this so you can kind of follow. I know my lines are incredibly straight. Okay, think about waves. All right, here we go. Mary has $20. Sarah has 5 more than Mary. The whole point of this question is to understand, in order to learn what Sarah has, you have to know what Mary has, because Sarah has $5 more than Mary. Remember, more than means to add. So Sarah, this is Sarah, she has $5 more than Mary, so she has $25. I know you could have did that in your sleep, but it's important to understand how to do that. Let's look at this. Sid has $4 less than Mary. Here's less than. Again, there's the phrase, ding, 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 that switches the order, so Mary's got to come first. We have to know what Mary has and then subtract $4 to figure out what Sid has. $4 less than Mary. Okay, so Sid has $16. Now let's do Laura. Laura has 3 times Mary. So Laura has 3 times Mary. Mary has $20. So Laura's the big winner. Laura has $60. All right. Now, let's change this. Let's say Mary has X dollars. Let's see how we can fit this in. Well, Sarah has $5 more than Mary. So Sarah has $5 more than Mary. 5 plus X. Because this is an X, I'm not going to get an actual number. I'm going to just get an expression in X. Okay? And again, remember that's an expression, no comparison symbol. And the only way I can figure out what Sarah has if I know what X is. And X is what Mary has, because I have to know what Mary has in order to know what Sarah has. Kind of cool. All right, let's look at this one. Sid has $4 less than Mary. Less than switches the order, so we have to have Mary first, but Mary has X, and so Sid has X minus $4. Again, an expression in X, because Mary has X dollars. We don't know how much Mary really has. So that means no matter what Mary has, we can use this expression or this rule to figure out what Sarah has and and what Sid has. Because remember, an expression is just a rule. Okay. And Laura has 3 times Mary, and Mary's x. I don't need a parentheses. If you put one in there, I'll mark it correct. But, you know, overuse of parentheses. But I'll mark it correct. Okay. So that's Mary, Sarah, Sid, and Laura. Now let's finally do a real problem. And these are my favorite ones. Oh, just wait. Just wait. These are cool. All right, here we go. Okay. It says, one number is 5 more than another number. One number is 5 more than another number. A little bit of shorthand. Find the 2 numbers. Find the 2 numbers if their sum is 45. Okay, here's what we're going to do here. If you can get this down, life will be simple. The whole key to these kinds of problems is actually a key. A key tells you what everything stands for. So let's talk about what I mean by these kinds of problems. One number is 5 more than another number. So there's 2 numbers going on. Find the 2 numbers. We want both numbers. So we want a key. This is the key. So the first step is to write a key. The very first step is to write a key. Okay? In your key, you label what you're looking for. Well, they're only calling these 2 numbers. So I'm going to say one number, the other number. Sometimes they have names, Jack, Jill, whatever. Jack and Jill, get it. Okay. One number, the other number. Now, I'm going to show you how to do this. Listen, you can do this 100 different ways. I'm going to show you a way that always works. Always make one of the things in your key X, always. Doesn't really matter which one for now. Okay? One number is 5 more than another number. So you have one number, and you know the other number is 5 more than that. So 5 more than that would mean 5 more than that. So these are 2 numbers where one number is 5 more than the other. One number is 5 more than the other. Okay? Now notice what you know. It says their sum is 45. Well, what does sum mean? Well, their sum means to add them up. So this is what you know. You know that one number plus the other number is 45. That's what you know. So I just stick in what I know. One number is x, plus the other number is 5 plus x, and that is 45. Now I know you're thinking, I could do this problem without doing all of this. But it says solve algebraically, so you have to do all of this. Plus, this is a simple problem. They'll get harder, okay? So this is writing in words the given information, and then we form the equation. Then we solve the equation, then we check, okay, in the problem, in the words of the problem. So here we go. We got to look at the left side of the equation. Remember, here's the equal sign. The left side of the equation, collect all like terms if you have any, and you do. This is 1x, this is 1x, so that's 2x. Plus 5 equals 45. Linear equations, all the variables on one side, all the numbers on the other. So I'm not going to touch him. He's alone. I'm not going to touch him. No friends. Sorry. No friends. Just moved into town. So we're going to subtract 5 from both sides. We use subtraction because we got to do the opposite of what's already been done. You get 2x, good night, equals 40. We divide by 2. And we're dividing by 2, remember, because this is attached by multiplication. We got to get the coefficient of x to be a 1. So you want this out of here? X equals 20. Now, go back to your key and write down the answers. This is 20. This is 5 plus 20, or 25. The key, the check almost doesn't even have to be written down for this. Here's what I have to know. I got to go to, don't check in here. You may have written this wrong. Don't check in here. You wrote it. Check in here. This is what you're supposed to be solving. Check in here. So one number is 5 more than another number. Do you have that? Yep. I have one number that's 5 more than the other number. Is their sum 45? Well, 20 plus 25, that is 45. That's the check. The check has to be in the words, not here, because if you wrote this wrong, Your answers will work in here, but it won't work in the words. So you must check, must absolutely check in the words. Okay? Must absolutely check in the words. All right? So that's how that works. Let's try another one. Here we go. The next one is in your workbook. And it says, in a recent year, Congress had 8 more Republican senators than Democratic senators. If the total number of senators was 100, how many senators of each party were there? Okay, so here's what you got. In a recent year, Congress had 8 more Republican senators. Okay, let me write that. 8 more Republican than Democrats. Okay, total senators is 100. How much of each party? Okay, so we have 2 unknowns. We want to know how many Republicans, how many Democrats. So if you have more than 1 unknown, we're definitely going to make that key. Now, what are we looking for? We're looking for Democrats and Republicans. Well, you may not really be looking. Well, whatever. Okay. Okay, now it says there are 8 more Republicans than Democrats. You can do this a number of ways, but here's what I'm going to tell you to do. Make X the one that you don't have the immediate information about, okay? So you have 8 more Republicans than Democrats. I know something about Republicans. I have 8 more Republicans, but I don't know anything about Democrats right now. So I'm going to make X the Democrats. Make X, one of these have to be X. I have 8 more Republicans. So I have 8 more Republicans than Democrats. So to show that, 8 more Republicans than Democrats. So this is 8 plus X, because I have 8 more of these than this. Okay, so I have 8 more Republicans than Democrats. Now let's see what else I know. I know that their total, the Democrats plus the Republicans, equals 100. So now just plug in what you know. And now go to your equals, go to your left side, see if there's anything you can simplify, and there is. Here's a 1x, here's a 1x, so that's 2x, plus 8 equals 100. Now here's the deal. The deal is this is the hardest part, to take the words out. But understand that you make the key, you have to make the key. This is the key. It's the key, this is the key. You have to write down Democrats, Republicans, because that's what you're finding. Make X one of them. Again, I'm going to make X the one I don't have any immediate information about. So I have 8 more Republicans than Democrats. I know something about Republicans. I don't know anything about Democrats, so I'm going to make that X. Okay, and then I know I have 8 more of these, so it's that number plus 8 more that I have. All right, so now we're solving. I'm not going to touch him, he's alone. I'm not going to touch him, he has no friends. So this is, I'm adding 8, so I have to do the opposite, so I'll subtract 8. 2x equals 92. Again now, right, the sum of that is 0, so I don't need that. Again, now I'm going to divide to find my x. X equals 46. But that's not how you should leave your answer, because they want to know how many Democrats, how many Republicans. So this is 46. This is 8 plus 46, which is 54. Okay, now here's what it says. We have 8 more Republicans. Do we have 8 more Republicans? Yep, because 46 plus 8 is this. Okay, is there a total 100? Well, let me see. 54 plus 46, yes, that's 100, so that's the check. It's just got to check in the words. Okay, so that's all you're doing. All right, let's try another one. I'm going to let you set up the key, so take a second while I write down the important information. So take a second to just set up the key. See how you do with that, okay? All right. A candidate for position with the FBI scored 12 points higher on the written portion than she did on her interview. Okay, so 12 points higher. 12 points higher on written than interview. Okay. She scored 210 points altogether, 100 points total. All right. Well, what'd you use in your key? Let's see. We have the written and we have the interview, so that's what we need to do. That's the key, written and interview. You had 12 points higher in the written, so they're telling me nothing about the interview, so I'm going to make the interview points X. But I know I have 12 points higher on the written, so I have 12 more points on the written, so I'm going to do X plus 12 or 12 plus X, does not matter, whatever makes you happy, but I have 12 more points on the written than on the interview. It's important not to just write 12 here. You didn't score a 12. That would be bad. You scored a 12 plus whatever she did on the interview. Okay? Now we know the written plus the interview equals 210. Okay, so here we go. Written is X plus 12 plus X equals 210. Again, like terms, X plus X is 2X plus 12 equals 210. Think about what you want to move. Okay, I come here, I'm going to subtract 12. It's the opposite operation, subtract 12. Okay, and we get 2X equals, good night, that's 0. That's 198. Okay, I'm going to, should I squish? I shouldn't squish, right? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to start from there. 2X equals 198. No squishing. Getting a little low F, even for me. I know I'm short, but that's ridiculous. Okay. Okay. Divide by 2. Divide by 2, right? And we get X equals 99. Okay, so she scored 99 points on the interview, and she scored 99 plus 12, which is 111 points on the written. Now, here's what I know. She's supposed to have 12 points higher on the written. 99 plus 12 is 111, so she did. And her total is supposed to be 210. If you don't believe me, that this is 210. Watch. Total. 111 plus 99, 0, 210. So it checks out. So that's the check. So it's pretty simple. All right, ready? One more. Here we go. I'm going to let you do this one from scratch, and then we'll look at it together. Okay, here's what we got. Let's see how you did with this one. A 10-foot board is to be cut into 2 pieces, so the longer piece is 4 times the shorter. So, okay, I don't have any board with me, I forgot, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this piece of paper. Okay, hold on. This is the board. Why did I cut it in half? Oh, let me get a new piece. Bad. This is my board, okay? I'm going to a 10-foot, so it's 10 foot, a 10-foot board. A 10-foot board is to be cut into 2 pieces, so the longer piece is 4 times the shorter. So I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it so the longer piece is 4 times the shorter, and we want the length of each piece. Okay, we want the length of both these pieces. All right. This is the important part. Watch. See this? This is the important part. Watch. See this? That's the important part. Okay. Here we go. Now, let's see what the key is. The key will be the longer piece and the shorter piece. All right. The longer piece is, I know you're thinking that this is means that I'm going to form the equation there. I'm not doing this word for word like in the other. There's 2 unknowns here. The whole purpose of this is to just get information about the longer and the shorter piece, so don't get confused by that. The longer piece is 4 times the shorter. So it tells me about the longer. It tells me the longer is 4 times the shorter, but it doesn't tell me anything about the shorter. So therefore, I'm going to make X the shorter. Now listen, I could figure out what I know about the shorter, but I don't want to. Just go directly from this. The longer piece is 4 times the shorter. So they gave me information about the longer, no information about the shorter, make X the shorter. So we know what the shorter is. Now reread that sentence and get the longer. The longer piece is 4 times the shorter. So this is what the longer piece is. It's 4 times the shorter. So 4 times the shorter. Now, what do we know? This is the important part. What do we know? Remember this? Look, here's my 10-foot board. I cut it in half. What do I know? I know that the longer piece plus the shorter piece is that 10 foot again. This was 10 foot. Took them apart. 10 foot when I put them back together. So it's 10 foot. So I know the longer plus the shorter is 10. That's what I know. So it's 4x plus x equals 10. Put a 1 here. 4x plus 1x is 5x equals 10. Okay, now I divide by 5. Now I divide by 5. You should be getting really good at this part. X equals 2. So now, what is x? Don't say 2. Say, well, yeah, it's 2, but it's the shorter piece. So the shorter piece is 2 feet. Okay, and what's the longer piece? Yes, 4x, but what is it really? It's 4 times 2, or 8 feet. So now let's see if this came out right by the words. The longer piece is 4 times the shorter. That's true. This is 4 times that, and together they're 10. So that's the right answer. I hope that worked out. Okay, that's the end of Mod 3. Looking forward to seeing you in Mod 4.